Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Got a video today that should raise the blood pressure in your body, just like it did to me. This story comes out of Taylor, Pennsylvania. More specifically, the Walmart in Taylor, Pennsylvania. See, there was an employee there, whose name is Michael Zuby. Now, Walmart fired this gentleman who happened to work in the asset protection department, like their store security. Now, while that isn't important in and of itself, it's not headlines, it's nothing new, people get fired all the time from their job, it's how he was fired that is absolutely insane. Now, Zuby was in Walmart, and he happened to be taking his lunch break. Mind you, he was off duty at the time, wasn't working for Walmart. So he stopped in, had some lunch at their food court or whatever they have. You know, some of the Walmarts, at least around here, have like Pizza Hut or different places, different venues that rent space where you can actually purchase food or other product, whatever. But he was there on his lunch break. He had something to eat, walked around the store and said hi to a couple employees, a couple co-workers. It was at this time that his manager, the asset protection manager, whose name is Charles Hamm, H-A-M-M, if anybody happens to live in the area and wants to chat with this Giacomo. Well, this coward liberal saw Mr. Zuby there off duty, noticed he was wearing a firearm. Now, why would he have a gun on, you would say? Well, it turns out that Zuby is a part-time police officer with the Taylor, Pennsylvania Police Department. He was working in his capacity as a police officer at the time, in uniform, had his duty gear on, and his duty weapon, which just happened to be a Glock passed down from his brother, who's also a member of the police department in town. Now, I'm going to say right off that the story as presented leaves some room that this can't be true. Like, this can't be 100% accurate. But I've read a couple articles on it, and I haven't seen anything from Walmart because I just got this news last night. If anybody lives in the area, knows something different, please, I invite your comment. Let us know the other point of view, because I'm sure there is one. But this is how it goes. Zuby was in the store on his lunch break as a police officer, in uniform, duty gear, duty weapon on. This coward of the asset protection supervisor, Charles Hamm, this coward, told the store manager about it. They pulled him in. And here's where it gets even dumber. Is dumber a word? Dumb and dumber? Stupid, ridiculous, asinine. These liberals asked the chief of police to no longer have Michael Zuby, who's their full-time employee in asset protection, is a part-time police officer prior to him being employed by Walmart. They knew he worked there. They were well aware he was a part-time cop in that town. And they asked the chief not to have him respond to any calls of service at Walmart while he was on duty. So the chief of police, to his credit, his or her credit, said, absolutely not. We're not a huge department. There's no way I'm going to preclude anybody from answering any calls of service in my jurisdiction. Bravo. I mean, what chief in the world would do that, right? It's just liability all over the place. So then Walmart has the balls, the big brass balls, to say, okay, chief, if you're not going to preclude him from responding to this store for calls of service, we want Michael Zuby to show up unarmed. Now, each state is different in how their laws pertain or their policies pertain to the police departments. And in Pennsylvania, it's required that while they're on duty, they are to be armed because their job is to protect lives and property, and they need to have the tools of the trade to do that. So it's a state law that they have to be armed. So the chief was like, you guys are clueless. So Walmart got stonewalled by the chief saying, no, he's going to respond to calls should there be one and if he's on duty. And B, yeah, he's a cop, he's showing up armed. Deal with it, liberal scum. So Walmart said, you know what, Michael Zuby, yes, you work here. Yes, we knew you were a cop. Yes, you were not even working for us at the time when you were working as a police officer in uniform with your firearm on. But because you had a gun on and you refused to show up unarmed to any calls of service, you're terminated. Now, they did offer him another position at another store, these coward asses, but he was fired after he said, hell no. Now, Zuby had this job, from what I read, from what I can ascertain, he had this job at Walmart just for benefits. He works a 30-hour work week at the local police department. It's not, from what I understand, it's not a huge town, and Massachusetts has towns like that too, where there are more part-timers than there are full-timers, because that's what the budget allows. For good or bad, that's how it happens. So he's been a part-timer there for a while, took this job at Walmart full-time so that he could have benefits. Now, Charles Ham, his boss, to me, sounds like he's got a little envy that the kid who's his subordinate on the job, and he's not a kid, he's 38, but Zuby, who's his subordinate, is a police officer in his other job, and this guy didn't. Okay, he couldn't ascertain that level, or for whatever reason he isn't. So he's going to try to jam it up as you-know-what by trying to say, well, he had a gun on him, and it's not allowed in this store, and it's my ball, and I'm going home, and I'm going to tell mom and dad, boo-hoo, you wuss. Now, Zuby has sued Walmart in the state Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, saying that it's wrongful termination, and they wanted him to violate one of the Pennsylvania codes that require him to be in compliance to be a police officer, and that's to be armed while on duty. Now, this case isn't new, but his filing in the state Supreme Court is. This case actually took place in 2015, September of 2015, and it's progressed to the point Walmart's digging their heels in, saying, nope, you can't have a gun here in the store. It's an ivory tower, look at it, and nobody can bring a gun in here because we are all safe. There's no need for that vile tool here. I can't wait to see how this unfolds. If you live in Taylor, PA, know somebody who does, know somebody on the job who works in the department, please, if you have more information, leave it as a comment below. I'm sure my viewers would love to see it. I know I would. And until we see each other again, maybe you shouldn't shop at Walmart or Sam's Club. This is Jared from Guns and Gadgets telling you to be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a weapon. Ivory tower or not, be safe.